a napkin. You need a tissue. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV, Being Mary Jane After Show. We do this every single week. Season 4, Episode 4. What is it called? It's called Getting Schooled. That's what it's called. Make sure you stay tuned because we're going to break it all the way down right here on AFTERBUZZ TV.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, you do. Oh, come on now. Because it was a sexy episode.
Yes, it was. Cara got some skills.
She did. Cara took her clothes off and told the young boy how to do it. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV's recap of BET's Being Mary Jane, Season 4, Episode 4, Getting Schooled. And that's exactly what happened in this episode. I'm one of your hosts, Megan Thomas, at Meg Scoop, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all your social medias. Who are you guys?
I'm Fahnia Thomas. I say with surprise and cheer.
You're so ridiculous.
Hey everybody, I'm Howard III. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Howard III.
Oh yeah, me too. Not at Howard, but at Fahnia. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
You're so funny. All right, let's get into this episode and make sure you guys use the hashtag ABTVBMJ. If you have any comments, we'll go ahead and shout you out because we love to see your comments. So let's go ahead and get it cracking. So episode starts off, Mary Jane is, she's in the meeting and she's showing them a video of a boy named Calhoun Jeffries who is getting assaulted by his father. Shout out to, that is Instagrammer, YouTuber, Viner, Raw Swagger, if you guys know, like he does videos.
Yes,
but this was full of Instagrammers and social media influencers.
Yes, it was. They are the new reporter. They are the new
celebs.
musicians.
Celebs. New celebrities, yeah. Cleo Thomas also was on this episode. He's also another Instagrammer. So yeah, we see on here that in the video, Calhoun is getting what Mary Jane says is assaulted by his father because he's wearing a skirt, which is a kilt.
Yes.
And, you know, in the black community, there's a lot of homophobia. So you got a strong black dad. He was like, my son can't wear no skirt. Even though it's a kilt, it's a little different from being just a skirt, I guess. There's...
No, but you know black daddies, no, it's a skirt.
Yeah.
You know, they don't see kill, like, no.
Yeah.
Can your thighs touch in the middle? If they can, it's a skirt. They should be rubbing. No, they shouldn't be rubbing. If you can feel your legs rubbing together in the middle, that's a skirt or a dress. Can't wear that.
I understood the dad's perspective of wanting to protect him from other people.
Right.
But then again, dad needs to relax. Dad needs to love his son.
Right.
Dad needs to embrace him. I think they said it several times, what you wear does not define your sexuality or what gender you identify with, all of that.
Okay, and you beat your son at home. Don't beat him in front of everybody else. Beat your kids at home. Don't beat them out in public where everyone can film it, and then you look ridiculous.
But in fact, I did get beat at the grocery store.
Me too. But nobody was there to film it. But now, you know, now in this day and age.
Mama Thomas don't play. She film and press play. Come take care of her.
All right, so then we see that with this story, Mary Jane sees the viral potential with it, and then she also decides that she wants to use this as her story since she has now been upgraded to web correspondent.
That is not an upgrade.
It is. Garrett was like, yes. Okay, web correspondent. So she wants to do the story, but of course Justin is hating on it in the meeting. He doesn't want to do it. He hates on it. Rhonda hates on it. Everybody hates on her story.
I'm not a fan of Justin.
Yes.
I'm not here for him.
You know, I wasn't, but I have a feeling the tides are turning with him.
You think so?
I do. We'll talk about that later. We're going to talk about that. But I'm just saying, this episode, I was like, I don't like him. I don't hate him as much as I did.
Sticking on that topic, what he did say is social media is news.
Right.
Do you guys think that's true? Like, what's happening on social media is now the new news?
It absolutely is. I mean, you can look at social media accounts like the Shade Room. What else is a big one?
True.
Like they have like 2-3 million followers.
That's
like,
true.
There's people are getting there, and it's almost sad because no one really respects real journalism anymore.
No, it's
There's
all
like
about
interns writing these stories, and people like, oh, this story got like 50,000 likes.
That's true.
Like, and an intern they weren't doing hard hitting journalism. They went to TMZ and got the story.
That's what I was just about to say. It's all about TMZ. It's all about online.
So wait, are you saying that Matt Lauer's job is in jeopardy?
No, because he's seasoned. He always gonna have a job.
okay.
You know what I mean?
It's a little different.
different
because and
for
he's
him.
older. So there's older people who respect that. But if you are below the age of 40, yes, your job is in jeopardy. I am so sorry. You better get with this digital age or you are out. You are out. But none of y'all have to worry about that because y'all watching this on your digital platform, so it's all good. All right. So there's I wanted to talk about the quote that came up. The poison. There's poisons that blind and then poisons that open your eyes.
Yes.
What does that have to do with this episode?
Howard?
Come on, guys. Let's get deep here.
Well, I feel like there's things that happen to us that can either be really good for us and be eye-opening and awakening, or we could be self-sabotaging,
right,
and keep us from advancing. How's that? You like that broad answer?
I like it.
That.
And no,
I'll take
and
that.
also I thought in particular, for example, like in this episode, you see how Mary Jane champions the fact that Calhoun is like, he shouldn't be getting teased. He shouldn't be getting beat by his father for wearing this skirt, kilts, or whatever. But at the same time, she's like, I would never date a man that wears a skirt. You got skinny jeans on. You're not a real man. And
you're crossing your legs. You don't have any swagger.
That leg cross.
Okay, I have a question about that. So what point do men learn how to sit and to cross leg or how to cross their legs?
I think it's also cultural. Black men,
so too.
well, Mary Jane says black men in America sit with their legs open. They kind of have like a, what's up? They sit like that, whatever, right?
Right.
But then you go, in different countries that I've traveled to, men cross their leg, and they cross that leg not at the knee. They cross that leg all the way mid-thigh.
Like a lady.
Yeah, I can't even cross my legs. I got big thighs. I can't do it. But she was like, yeah, because you're supposed to let your junk breathe. But that's like a machismo black community type of thing.
But so does it not really matter then? Do you not need room for your area, for your personal area down there?
Yeah.
So then leg crossing is...
So maybe that just means it's the size of your penis. You cross your leg through how your penis is small. I think that's probably essentially what it is. I don't think it's really necessarily like if your penis, if it gets in the way, you're not going to cross your legs that tight. It's semantics, guys, and it's also physiology. Like, just let's be real. Like, my thighs are big. I cannot cross them that tight. Okay, maybe if they were smaller, I could cross them. So I think that's really what it comes down to. Your penis is small, you can cross your legs tighter. I guess.
You guys let us know. 'Cause I really did. I wrote it down. At what point do boys learn when to how and cross their legs?
I think you literally learn like as a grown man, because growing up I didn't cross my legs. I didn't see nobody else really crossing their legs.
Right.
So I think
did you ever want to cross your legs?
No. I had no real driven towards cross them legs.
So basically what you're saying, Howard, is your junk is big. Okay. Got it. Fill in the blanks. We filled in the blanks. We got you. You're over here advertising. Got it.
I didn't put your business on the street.
You put your own business out there. But all right. All right. So I just think it brings a really good point, because that's something that black women really do. Like, no, I've said it before. Like, okay, your legs is crossed a little too tight, bruh.
Right.
Go ahead and remove them legs now. Put that ankle over that knee instead.
Now you're making me really sad, because I feel like I've seen like Idris Elba cross his legs. I feel like there's some stunning.
Nah, I've seen that ankle on the knee. That knee wasn't touching the knee. The ankle was touching the knee.
I've seen some very handsome African American males crossing their legs.
So wait, for ladies, is it a turn off when black men cross their legs?
Absolutely.
Not for me.
Absolutely. It's too metro or what?
It's very. Yeah, I was dating this dude, but he was already questionable in some other areas. So that's why
there you go.
that just that's like the icing on the cake. And then he crossed his legs, and I was like, he crossed his legs a little too tighter than I can cross mine. I have an issue. I have a jealousy issue here, because I wish I could do that. Number one. And number two, now your package is in question. I'm just saying.
I would need to see, but I feel like it's, depending on the guy, it might be something of power, might be something of prestige, might be something of education. So I need to check it all out.
But I think Lee had a point there. I think as black women, we need to stop judging and saying, okay, well, because you don't have the tattoos or the muscles or the bad boy swag or the rap sheet, you're not a man. When he's like, I like tea, I have a kilt because it's like from my family.
But he still has to have some kind of swagger. Like, if you can do all that, like if Jay-Z can pull off a kilt and have his tee and cross his legs and still be swaggy at it, fantastic. I'm here for it. Not having swagger is a deal breaker for me.
Right, but so that's the thing. So what exactly is swagger? Because if you look at Lee, but hold on a second, because Lee, technically, for somebody to look at Lee, they'd be like, he has swagger. But the way Mary Jane puts it, she says he doesn't, and that she's telling Cara that he's too metro.
Right, so for Mary Jane, her swagger is, I think he said it, like roughneck tattooed.
Right.
To her, that's what swagger reads. For me, not so much.
So what is for you then?
It's I have to see it. It's how he,
Is Lee swaggy enough for you?
No, I told you Lee was a creeper from the beginning. That's when he showed up on the job. Lee's a creep.
So you don't think Lee has enough swag?
No.
I think for what he does, he has enough swag. I think, him being from a whole other country, what he brings is that London swag.
See, Lenny Kravitz could do it. See, I'd be down with Lenny Kravitz doing that.
He can cross his legs.
Yeah.
I actually think I have seen him cross his legs before in an interview.
Yeah, like he oozes swag.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Okay.
he can do whatever. He
Okay.
can get it.
Okay. All right.
Whatever he wants.
You can have whatever you like.
Right. So let's keep the story going. So of course, Mary Jane wants to get the boy Calhoun on the show, but he's not answering. And she goes and researches him, and she sees that the outfit that he's wearing is by a rapper named D-Razor, who's played by Fahnia Thomas, another Instagrammer. And basically, she's like, well, maybe if I get the Instagrammer, I get the rapper D-Razor on here,
Right.
then maybe Calhoun will want to come on the show because he sees his icon is on the show. Justin is mad that he has to work on this story. He doesn't feel like it's hard-hitting news. He doesn't feel like it's worth his time.
And then he pulls in what's her name?
And then he pulls in Rhonda, and they make it really. They have their behind closed doors black meeting.
Yes.
Here go to black meeting because they couldn't say this in the real meeting, so they have their black meeting, which is so funny because I'm like, this is what black people do for real. Now, like, we can talk for real now.
Yeah.
It's real life.
And they were basically like, look, Mary Jane, we have a responsibility not to put this homosexualized information out to the black boys because they need to have this, black masculinity. It's our job to make sure we don't show them that. And what you gonna say? Agree or disagree?
I'm curious as to whose agenda Rhonda's pushing, because she was saying like we need to have positive black African American images. Well, something positive would be like, hey, love your son no matter what he decides to wear, who he decides to date. Like the African American community needs to see that. So I didn't know. Rhonda's shady. I didn't know who agenda she was
she's
pushing.
shady. She's too shady. I disagree with Rhonda. I think this is still a positive influence because you never know. There could be that gay black boy who could look at this and be like, wow, he's out here, he's doing this. Or even that straight guy, like, man, my homeboy might be cool. So this can actually open up doors to a great conversation.
And actually, she's saying it's not positive. She's saying that what's happening is a negative, which she's dead wrong.
Which you can understand. First of all, Rhonda's old. She's seasoned. She's,
True.
She's coming from an old. She didn't want to do the story. You know what I mean? She was just like, it's just a dad beating his kid. Like, what is new about that? Why are we trying to? It's not assault. He's whipping him because he out here acting like a little girl. And so in her mentality, which is a lot of older African Americans thinking, is you're a boy, you're strong. There's already so many negative media images portraying black men. The last thing we need to do is demasculinize them further. And so I think what she's saying is basically like, let's not give any more fuel to the fire with this boy in his little dress. No more dressing, which is, this is inspired by what Young Thug, Ross Swagger put it on his Instagram. He said that his character was inspired by Young Thug and Jaden Smith.
Yes, because he looked like Jaden Smith in that outfit.
Yeah. He is with his locks and his faux locks in his hair,
dress top and his.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing though. So it's like you want to wear a dress, got it, but why? I guess I can understand from the perspective of what's the point of the dress?
Because he likes it.
Exactly.
Why did I wear a pink shirt today? Because I look cute and I want to cover my arms in long sleeve because I'm feeling a little heavy today.
So what's wrong? You got pants on. What's wrong with, like, if your shirt is going to be long, why don't your shirt is a little shorter? What difference does it make?
Because he didn't think that was hot enough when he walked out the door. It wasn't swaggy enough.
It wasn't swaggy enough. No, I'm saying that from a devil's advocate perspective because it's kind of like, okay, well, yeah, you can. Why wear that though? Why wear a dress? Why wear a skirt? I get the kilt for sure because to me that's like part of a culture. It's not a
Right,
you know what I mean? It's part of a culture. And then even in Middle Eastern countries, when I went to Dubai, like the men wear long.
Yeah, it's almost like a dress.
It is a dress. They have nothing on underneath. I learned that.
How you know, man?
No, because I was asking. I was like, I don't understand. Like, so they have a dress.
You strange men and asked what there was underneath their skirts.
No, I asked a girl. I was like, so do they wear like pants with that? She was like, no. I was like, so wait, it's a dress? And she was like, I mean, yeah, but we don't look at it like that. I was like, oh, so they wearing dress, but it wasn't like that. And they're like super masculine men, but it was just like this is what we wear. So it's
Right.
part of our culture. So I get that. So let's move on anyway. Mary Jane decides she's still going to do the story. D. Razor comes on the show, and that also prompts Calhoun to talk to her. And he finally has a nice little exchange with his father, Mary Jane, and him. And it's kind of at that moment he was like, you know, what you want me to do? So you beating me is showing masculinity. You want me to beat you? Is that what's going to prove that I'm still a man?
There was such a cathartic moment that happens, I'm sure, I've seen it with my dad and my brother, between so many African American dads and their sons, where you have to be the strong alpha male, and it's shown through fighting. Or, like, that's how you get somebody's respect. Which, when he came toe-to-toe with his dad, and he was a little bit taller than him, I was just like, ooh, what's dad gonna do? Because, like, that's a challenge. Like, that's thick.
Right. And it is said that in a society we go, what you wear defines your sexuality. And that's not true. I mean, we all know that. Because here's the thing. When I was in, like, middle school and, like, early high school, I was really chunky. And at the time, there weren't any cute, like, girl jeans. They weren't like
boy jeans, man.
So I did. I wore the baggy cargo jeans. I got baggy boy clothes. You know, I did, but at the time that was kind of the that was the style.
Leah was wearing Tommy Hilfiger's.
Right.
Okay.
So it was like everything was
cute.
big and baggy, so it was okay. But you know, somebody could have mistaken me and been like, "You're trying to be a lesbian."
Which brings a point. So it's okay for girls to be like dressed like a tomboy, because Aaliyah did it very cute. She would have on her little half top and her little male boxers showing with baggy pants, but for boys, it's not
a double
so much
standard in our
accepted.
society. That's why poor boys.
No, we're not poor boys. Poor girl.
All right, so then
Sorry.
So then of course Calhoun comes on the show and he has a very nice exchange, and I think it was a very nice moment because you see the old and the new bridging the gap. You know, first old didn't want to do the story. They thought it was just his father disciplining his son. Who cares? Of course the story gets traction, and now it's full circle because Mary Jane is no longer on the web doing this interview, right?
No, right. She sat down in the studio.
Yes, she had a real in studio, which of course went on the morning show.
Yeah,
So
well,
good for
yes,
her.
because when you get 2-3 million clicks,
Yes, honey.
the bosses start to listen.
Yes, honey.
You can't stop the numbers. You can't deny it.
So let's talk about Justin a little bit. You guys don't like Justin.
No. Not at all.
I'm weary of Justin.
Okay.
I like him as a person. Let's be clear, as the person himself, but as the actor.
You don't like his character. Okay, well, let's talk about that. So
No.
Justin, we see Justin, he's always with a crowd at work. It looks like he's trying to schmooze and be the cool kid. And Mary Jane and Cara see right through it. They're just like, nah, like, we know you trying to put this charm on. Cara has a little exchange with him, which she was just like, I see what you doing.
Right? She's trying to build a crew, build an army, trying to smooth everybody, get them on his side, which is smart. It's a great play. But he's playing it against Mary Jane, so...
And I don't know how that's gonna work, because you know how Cara says to him that how she's like, I see right through you, and he tells her, well, the thing is, you're a single mom, so it's always gonna be harder for you. And I was like, oh, he tried it. What you don't know is that her husband her ex has them kids down in Atlanta, so she's technically free. Okay, that's what you don't know.
I wrote that down. Like, women can't commit at work as much as men, which I was thinking like Beyonce.
No, but that is true though. Because
a little bit.
Yeah, because we're in a society where mothers are expected to take care of their kids over fathers. They're expected to sacrifice their careers, and now this is a situation where the tables are turned, and she's like, "No, I'm the one that goes out and get this money," and he stays with the kids in a different state. So it's kind of like, okay, well, and essentially what Justin is saying is right. Mothers do tend to not be able to put in as much hours at work because they got to go leave and go pick up the kids from daycare. If you're a single mom, like, you can't just put in 50 hours a day. You can't do that.
Well, some can.
Well, I'm saying most mothers can if you're a single mother, because a lot of times the fathers are the ones that don't have the children, right? So they can stay at work late. They can do all that stuff.
Right. For single moms, absolutely.
Right.
But there are. You can't just say a blanketed statement that women cannot commit at work as much as men, because that's not true.
Very true.
There are some women that are able to have 24-hour nannies, au pairs, all kinds of people taking care of their children while they're putting in 60 hours a week at work, busting their ass.
And that's exactly what Cara gets to do, because her family has worked out that arrangement. So when he said that, I was like, ooh, child, what you don't know about Cara, honey. She done been through this already. That was a whole season ago, okay? You don't know. Right.
I just love how Cara and Mary Jane have each other's back. I love how she was like, I'm going to be looking out for my girl. I said, yes, Cara. That's a friend right there. That's a ride or die.
And she came up to him, Justin, excuse me, I need to talk to you. Not even
checked him.
I need to talk to you. So I like that. So then we also see that Natalie is feeling Justin too. She gives him some tickets because she wants him to be like, well, let's go together.
So was that? Yeah, she was trying to pick him up.
Yeah, for sure. And then he was like, okay, yeah, I want to get these tickets for me and my girlfriend. I thought it was a Becky too. I'm not gonna lie. I thought his girlfriend was
I thought so too.
Becky with the good hair.
At least not black. I didn't think black.
Latina something.
Yeah.
She just wasn't black. But then when we see this real natural sister, I'm talking about she got the locks in her hair. She is brown skinned.
Did they have to make it so extreme?
What you mean?
Did she have to be a dark-skinned African-American girl with actual natural hair?
I like that fact.
I like
No,
it
no,
too.
no.
Because it was
I'm not
something that
saying-
you would never put him
I'm
with.
not saying I don't like that fact. I'm just saying there's the juxtaposition. Mind you, he is a fair-skinned African-American guy with light green, blue eyes.
So what's your point?
Did they have to make them such polar opposites?
What's wrong with that?
Because he should be. I don't believe it.
You don't believe that he would date a
Nope.
dark-skinned black woman?
Nope. He's
You're-
shady at work and he's shady at life. I feel like how Cara and Mary Jane felt, that he would
You're a
be with the Becky.
racist. You're a racist. I just want to say that.
Well,
You're a racist.
yes. On some topics, I'll be honest. Everybody has kitchen table
And
talk.
you're a colorist. Did you hear that? Fahnia is a colorist. She does not like dark-skinned women. All of y'all beat her up.
Megan Thomas.
I'm just playing. No, it's not true. It's a lie. It's a lie from the pits of hell. I'm just like,
Ooh, I'm gonna be looking at your sweater tonight.
lie from the pits of hell.
I'm
No,
gonna
but
be right
I
there.
think they did that for a reason, with the story, because in our minds, nobody thought that he would date a woman that is black, period.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Light
saying.
skin or
Like,
nothing. So when you see him and his girlfriend is a beautiful dark skinned
she's
chick
gorgeous.
that has this pretty hair, you're like, oh, okay. Especially after Mary Jane gave she gave the description. He's a Republican. He's like,
Yes.
everything that you think of like an Uncle Tom black person.
Exactly.
You just
That's-
wouldn't.
Oh,
And so
Lord
that's
have
why
mercy.
that's why I said earlier. I actually think I think I'm starting to like him a little bit more. Maybe he's not.
No.
Maybe he's not as shady as we thought. Maybe he's not. And then you hear he has this nice little moment with Mary Jane when he tells her, when they're watching the footage and they're watching the newscast back and
He's
he
talking
says,
about his daddy. And
Yeah,
how
he was talking about his dad.
Him. Please.
That almost got me though. I won't lie. That one day I was like, "Ooh, well maybe there's something behind all of this." Then I realized, no, he just
That's
shady.
game. That's
I'm just
game.
telling you, I don't think he's as bad as we think.
Because you hear what he said. Mary Jane was trying to empathize, and he was like, "Well, my dad's hard on me, and I don't regret nothing.
He's a winner.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm a
right.
winner."
Right, but
Well,
I'm saying
that
that
doesn't mean you have to be. It's not victim versus winner. It's just that sometimes in life, your parents are hard on you for whatever the reason.
right.
Which
I'm just saying, I kind of understand him. Like, I understand why, he also tells, when he told Cara that he had to work, he's like, I work everybody. I will outwork them all. Like, and I kind of think that's part of, you don't get to be, regardless of how shady he is or how he's been in the past, I always big up hard work.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? Even if he has to play this strategic game where he's like, okay, well, let me just go ahead and schmooze in these people's faces. How many times have you had to do that yourself in an environment where people don't look like you and you just schmooze because you playing the game?
but right now the thing is he's playing the person that looks like him. It's one thing to have to outwork everybody, but like, if I can help you, I'm helping you. One, because you're black.
But
Two,
wait.
because you're a female. So that's not how he operates. Like, justice is for him.
Hold on, but wait a
He
minute.
is.
Look at every single episode. Has he? That's the way he's come off, because how Mary Jane has filtered it for us from her past. She's told us he was shady to me. He stabbed me in my back. He did X, Y, and Z. Now, because we know that information about him, we look at him like that. Every decision that he's made in every episode, we're like, he's a backstabber. That's why he's trying to get at her.
Right.
However, what if you took that away and said, because there's 3 sides to every story. What if you looked at it from his side and he's like, no, because she was wrong. So yeah, I had to tell on her because she was wrong for that. She shouldn't have done whatever she did back at her other job. Or and him now, he's just like, no, this is me working hard. So I don't care. No, he's right. You shouldn't do that story. I don't believe in that story. I believe in hard-hitting journalistic news. This news news is from the internet. I don't think we should do that story. So now it's us looking at it like, oh, he's a hater, but it's him like, no, I'm working hard. I'm trying to get the ratings.
You know what I heard when he told on her? Snitch.
Yes.
Snitches end up in ditches.
Yes.
Okay, and he was wrong about the social media stories.
He was wrong.
Justin needs to have several seats and big up. He can work hard and still promote and help and send a hand down to Mary Jane.
You better say
born
that.
on the basis that she's African American.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Snap.
But we'll see what happens.
Because they do pin us against one another.
That's true.
Let's be clear. Like, they do pin African Americans in certain environments.
Yeah.
And
Right.
on the job, you
Right.
know, we're, okay.
All right.
That's
Get
right.
to
I
preaching.
digress.
But we'll
So,
see. But we'll
yes,
see. But
yes, let's
I
not
think
do it. You know, it's already Black History Month. We need to get it together.
Okay.
They already think we up here just planning and plotting and
We are.
I am so weak. I'm so weak. All right, let's talk about Cara a little bit. So, of course, she is, we saw her with her new boat thing. She got that young thing. Orlando Lagos. And, so it seems like, you know, last episode he came over a little bit. He hung out with her. We find out that they did some stuff. They're continuing to do stuff. But Cara is not happy with his performance at all.
at all.
No, he's like Thumper. What you say?
But
Like a
here's-
Bunsen ball?
Yeah, Bonsu was like, yes, jeez. But here's the other thing, though. So he's this, professional athlete. He's never, quote unquote, had to be good, because women would just have sex with him because of who he is.
Oh, I thought
Right.
you meant like in bed. Yes, he never.
No,
had
yeah, in bed. So he never had to be good in bed. Because think about it, I feel like a lot of professional athletes, this is their story too. Like, you were never required to do a lot because everyone was like, "Oh, you're so amazing." When the girl's
Right.
like, "No, I'm trying to get pregnant." That's what you don't know. I don't care how terrible you are. I'm trying to just get this check.
Like trap him.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm so glad Cara brought out the peach.
Oh,
I'm so glad that she slowed him down, because I was thinking, like, how do you tell someone? Like, do you wait in the moment? Do you wait till the next day? Like, how do you school them, like, to where their feelings don't get hurt and where their ego doesn't get bruised? I think she handled it very well.
Are you supposed to train a guy to the ladies here? Like,
Hello?
would you put? Wait a minute. Would you put all of that effort, all of that work into training him, not even knowing if he's gonna stay with you? Right now, he's just a good time, but now you don't train him, and now you think he's supposed to stay with you
You
forever.
have to keep it a good time. See, if you want it to be a good time, which is what she said.
Right.
She wanted
She just
to
wanted
have
casual
a
sex.
bed
Right.
buddy.
So why train him?
Because it's her bed buddy. She doesn't want a bed buddy.
right. Because she's like, okay, this was
You
boring.
saw how she patted his back at the end when he bought the cupcake. Like, oh, you want to have a relationship?
Right.
I'm
She
not here
just,
for
this
that.
is her fun time. She's already had the relationship. She's had the divorce. She's had, it's hard for her because now she's got to work so hard and squeeze in any kind of time she can with her kids. So she's not trying to have another responsibility, which is
That's true.
what relationships can be.
Right.
So she's like, look, we just need to smash, and I need you to get it right because I ain't got time to find nobody else. But I think that, but honestly though, when she said that, I was like, yo, this is like an ego buster for a man. But I feel like you can do that when you don't care about the guy. Because she was like, look, he might leave. The truth is, he might not ever come back. But she didn't care. So she was like, look, I'm going to just have to tell you, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
I liked her approach when they were in bed doing it. And when it was in the morning, I was like, oh my God, how is he going to take it? Poor
Right.
guy. But then I was thinking, can you teach an old dog new tricks? Like, I know he's only 34, which you would think by that age he'd have it together.
Yeah.
But you see that he was really just like, you see how he put like the cover back on him, like he was just ashamed. His shame was showing. But that has to be a real, like, think about it. If somebody tells you, as for a male ego, a woman tells you like, yeah,
Yes.
bruh, so you really not good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you how to be good.
Right.
He's like,
or even what I like. Teach
Right.
you, like,
Oh,
Megan
personal
might not like
preference.
it how I like it, and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's important too. Like, some girls might like Thumper.
yeah, some girls, and obviously they have been liking Thumper for his whole life because he thought he was doing something, But I think that just, you gotta be willing to learn new things because you never know.
Yes.
And so I thought he probably was a goner after that. He was just like, his feelings were hurt. Here's this multi-million-dollar Derek Jeter type of baseball player, and you're gonna tell this man he's no good. I thought he's out of there. But of course he comes back. He has a winner attitude, so he came back to tell her, this was just like that game-changing moment. I'm gonna make this happen. I'm gonna make you like it.
I don't understand the whole backstory of that. Like, I didn't get the whole, this was like round 2. When, I slid across the way. Like, does she need to know all of that?
I feel like he was trying to set the backstory for, like, the challenge. Like, that was a challenge for me, and I did it. This is a challenge. I'm gonna conquer it.
Yes, that is a turn off to me. Like, Negro, what you gonna do? Okay, you gonna tell me how you gonna do it or what?
Or just do it.
I know.
You know what? Actually, so she's actually building a man because she built him to be an on-air sports anchor. Now she's building him to be a pleasable lover. So something might be actually.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. When you put you invest that much time and energy into somebody, you end up falling for them. And I think it's going to be like she's built this man up. She didn't have any intentions of really being with him, and then what happens? Her feelings are going to get caught up, and then he gonna leave.
Exactly. I mean, why build this?
I think so.
I feel like she's gonna stay. She needs to stay with him because you just built this man from the ground up. Then you gonna let somebody else come in and just take him?
I know. You taught him the peach ways.
You gotta stay at least a year or 2. You put in all that time, the effort, the training.
All right, Beyonce.
Right. Sure. So then, of course, he gets it right. He learns her, and he gets it right. He slows down, and so much so that he done broke out his neck. He broke his neck.
No, I'm sorry.
Cara is putting it on you. Not what? Breaking somebody's neck?
He sprained it. He didn't break his neck.
He broke that. What is it? The C4 back there. That disc.
Has a male ever sprained his neck while performing cunnilingus?
Cunnilingus or something? No. No. I think most women haven't experienced a man whose neck has broken while they were.
I don't know.
Say that again. Who's that? That's our producer. Say that again.
Michael Douglas claims that performing cunnilingus
Oh yeah, gave him like the herp. Gave him some cancer in the mouth.
Are you for real?
Yes, he did say that.
See, that's a problem. We'd be divorced. Are they still married?
Yeah, said that about.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine, call this girl. Blink twice, Catherine.
Herpes and cancer in the mouth is a little different from getting your neck to be sore. Michael Douglas, you just have herpes. I'm sorry.
Michael needs to have several seats.
Right, you just got herpes. That's a whole nother story.
Or he needs to talk to some, like, is he?
Yeah, I know.
Maybe he's on the other side.
I don't know what that means.
Well,
AIDS?
We'll talk off air.
Was it AIDS? AIDS? Is that it? But I don't know. I'm slow.
Maybe he roots for the other team. If he doesn't like cunnilingus.
No, he's saying that cunnilingus gave. Okay, this is totally off topic.
What?
Totally off topic. How did we get here? How did we get here?
Want to do it.
How did we get here?
He said he got cancer from it. From
doing it.
Oh, so he likes to do it. Okay. Sorry, my bad, Michael.
He got something else. That's something totally. Okay, anyway, back to Orlando. Orlando, from what we know, Orlando ain't got that hurt, but he does have a broken neck. I mean, his neck has gotten sprained. He's gonna miss the beginning of spring training. So Cara got that thing. She made him put that work in.
And that's a lot for him to miss spring training because of a sexual encounter.
I know.
Garrett is mad, and Cara was like, "Oh, that is so unfortunate." She played it well.
The lie is gonna be though. Like, what did she say? Like,
she said he was probably showing off.
No, she was playing football with his friends or something like that. But yeah, so she feels a little weirded out when he comes over and says, "Well, I was hoping we could just hang out," and it was really cute with his little cupcake. And she just kind of like pats him, like, "What do you think her hesitation is for?"
She's older. I don't think she really wants to date this younger man. She probably thinks superstar, younger, and she's on her career. Like, she wants to get this Emmy. She wants to do what she has to do to get to the top.
Right.
And he's just here to pretty much fill the needs and be about her business and, go his own way.
So now, poor Orlando.
That's why she gave that little petty ass backpack. Like, okay, you want to Netflix and chill,
right.
She's like, I'm just trying to get this Emmy. Like, this wasn't in the guidelines for the Emmy. Like,
right.
Okay.
She got to take care of another kid. She over here she's worried about her other two. So we'll see what happens with that story. I think that's going to be very interesting. Let's talk about PJ. PJ shows up to Cara's dinner party with a Rolex. And it's cute too that Lee was there. Mary Jane brought Lee to meet her brother.
That
and
was cute.
Hang out with her brother and Cara. That's so cute. And so we see that Olivia is his boss, and PJ introduces Mary Jane and Lee to his boss. At that time, I was still like, yeah, this is seeming real cougarish.
Right. So you thought that they were
mama.
something was happening.
Yeah, I was like,
together.
you're his mentor. I don't know.
Right.
And that's kind of the way that, of course, Mary Jane was feeling too, because she's like, I know my brother. But then when Olivia says, like, if I was in my 20s, like, yes, I would definitely have had sex with him. But I want to mentor him. I see that there's things that, places he can't go, access that he can't have because he's a young black man.
Right.
I want to make sure he gets in those places because he has the talent.
So that to me reads that she's using him for his urban connections to get
Right.
him the urban popular vote.
Yep.
And she's gonna throw a 30K, right? Watch on him to make it seem as
Yes.
if though
He
he fits into the, so he can get into the good old boys club, which at that point they're not liking him because he's African American. It's because he has this financial backing, or as if though he's rich, which I was
Right.
like, I'm not here for her.
Yeah, so it's
It's almost like he's a puppet. Like,
Yeah.
that's his, she's.
right. So
Which,
then
if he works it well, it'll work in his favor.
it will. It's a game that you have to play.
Yes.
Sometimes that's the game. Like, okay, he's like, this nice rich white lady is willing to vouch for me. And sometimes you have to do that because people might be like, okay, well, you don't look like me. You're young, you're black, you're a man.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think that you understand my world. But then if you have a woman like Olivia that can vouch for you and say he's smart, he knows his stuff, whatever.
Right.
He will get access in certain places.
Yeah,
so
he'll
she's
get
not
in the
wrong about that.
circles, and he
Right.
has to maneuver appropriately.
Now, but here's a little problem because Olivia asks PJ to kind of pick up his daughter, make sure her daughter's good. She's home for the weekend from college. And we see her daughter Ava walk in. Miss Ava, honey.
Trouble. You stay away from her.
She got that fiery red hair.
And she white girl, he's a black boy. Was it Emmett Till?
Oh my gosh, you're going to take it back to 1950.
Stay away from her. Stay away
Really,
from her.
1950 is your last example of this?
I mean, everybody, well, hello.
Last example of it. Oh my gosh,
Okay,
Fahnia.
loving, stay away from
Still
her.
1955. You're still in the 50s.
Okay, it hasn't come out yet, but Get Out, which comes out the end of the month.
Okay, that movie is not real. It's a horror story.
But it has a basis of a black man and a white girl. See, what happens?
Did anyone say that he had raped her? No, that was her boyfriend. Okay.
Well, it has to be determined. We don't know. We don't know what Ava's up to.
I know Ava says, "Ooh, my mom didn't tell me that my babysitter was cute."
Right?
So so this is trouble. Yes.
Ooh.
Because we see that PJ has a really good thing going right now with Olivia, and you over here messing with her daughter, which might happen.
Was Olivia mixed? Or was
She doesn't
didn't
look
she
pure
look a little-
Caucasian. Yeah. She looks a little swirly. Maybe.
No, I think
Was she
she's meant to. I mean, if she's not if the actress for real isn't white, but I think she was meant to be a white woman in this at least.
Oh.
Yeah,
Really? She doesn't read European.
she did to me.
Oh, she did? I was like, is she mixed? Because when I saw Ava, I was like, oh, this girl's pure Caucasian. And then I said, hold up. And I was like, well, what's Olivia mixed?
So the
Or was she
casting
white?
was maybe a little off. Then is what you're
Her
saying.
adopted daughter.
Her casting was a little off. I will say that, yeah.
Maybe her daddy's pure Caucasian.
Casting was off. We got it.
It's just like, okay, the TVs here are a little color,
Right.
sometimes. So.
All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and do our predictions.
Yes.
AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Okay, everybody has to do a different prediction, a different storyline. So let's see. Fahnia, ladies first.
Well, I think Justin likes MJ.
Ooh.
You know, a little boy picks the little girls on the playground, pulls her ponytail when they like them. I think maybe that's what's happening. Maybe it's the build up to the explosion.
I think. I like that.
foreplay.
I think for sure. I think
See?
they're gonna smash by the end of the
Yes.
season.
And
for
my
sure.
other one is, now this might be way out there. I feel like PJ's real estate, Olivia, is a front for some mafia, and she's like the queen pin.
So she needs. She needs a black dude to be her dirty dog and get some. I feel you. I
I
feel
like
you.
that one. I'm like,
All right.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
Give us a Cara prediction there, sir.
oh, okay. So I think Cara's she's gonna fall for Orlando, of course, for just a little bit, because she did all of this work to build him up. She's gonna fall for him, and then eventually something's gonna talk her out of it, and she's just gonna let him go. She's gonna get her Emmy. She's gonna be happy, but she's gonna look back and be like, dang, he was the one,
Okay.
I think, my prediction is for Mary Jane. I don't think her and Lee are going to make it. I want them to. But I think it's going to come down to his children. And I think they're going to come and visit, and she is going to be like, you know what? I don't like your kids because they definitely don't like me.
What nationality do you think his baby mama is?
She's probably white. So his children are mixed, and Mary Jane's not gonna like that, and they're gonna be just these little brats, and they're gonna be like, Dad, us or her.
Ooh, that's deep.
Okay. Give me my writer's
All right,
credit,
Megan.
'cause I just...
Okay, Megan.
my writer's...
Okay.
All right, let us know what your predictions are. Make sure you use that hashtag ABTVBMJ, and we'll shout you out. I am one of your hosts, Megan Thomas, at Meg Scoop. Follow me on all of that stuff. You can also catch me on All Def Digital. I host a couple shows there, and I have my own show, guys. I interview ladies. That's all I do. Interview. What about you guys?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fahnia Thomas. That's Fahnia Thomas.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Howard III, and of course my website, howardthird.com.
We'll see you guys next week right here on AfterBuzz TV. Holla!
Woo!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.